Well, we begin today with the story of another effort to save an old barn.
This one is located in the shadows of Fort Kearney in central Nebraska, and some might say it's too far gone to save. But one Nebraskan is on a mission to restore it. In this story, we take a closer look at the barn and learn more about his restoration effort.
Hi, everybody. We are just outside of Kearney, and we are learning about a barn here that's being restored. And joining me now is Kyle Brown. Kyle, it's good to see you today.
How are you, sir?
Yeah.
Good to have you out.
Tell me a little more about this barn that you're trying to restore.
So this barn, my builder has kind of dated it back between 1860, 1870. So it's about 157 years old is what I'm thinking. It had a 6-foot lean to the east. It had a 4.5-foot twist. It was really trying to pull itself off the foundation and do a roll. When I bought the property, I made a pact with the old owners to try and save the barn, do what I could, and so I had several people come out and talk to me about fixing the barn up, and they all said the same thing: it's too far gone. Just throw a match in it and put up a new one, you know. And with that much history in that barn, if it could talk, I can't just let something go. So I got a hold of a guy out of Wisconsin that's all he does is build barns, and I got with him to ask him if he'd like to come down, take a look at what I had going on, and if there was any way to save it. And so I got him to come down here, and we sat at the kitchen table and trying to figure out what to do, and we come up with some ideas. And he told me that the odds of it standing the next day after we started were slim to none. He said, I start pulling on it, it might come down. But that night we pulled an all-nighter. We sat here with cables and wedges and stuff, and we got it straightened back up. It hasn't been this straight in probably 30 years.
There's a lot of history around here too.
Yes, the Oregon Trail's right here in my backyard. I mean, it's literally, you're standing on it.
Fort Kearney is right nearby.
Yeah, Fort Kearney recreation site is what's left of Fort Kearney. The fort is about, well, it's about a mile from here where we're standing, and you know, we're kind of between the main town. Back before Kearney was Kearney, it was Dobie, which is actually a mile to your west. So we sit between Fort Kearney and Dobie, the main supply chain of the fort. So they were coming back and forth between here all the time.
So there's a lot of reasons to save this. So what is your future for this barn?
Oh, the future for the barn is to get it to a point where it's a usable space. Now, that being, you know, a barn that we put hay in or put cattle in, I don't know if that's it. We do an annual, every year we do a haunted house. This year it's to incorporate it into the haunted house. Everybody last year wanted to go through the barn. I couldn't send them through the barn because it was not safe. Well, it's pretty safe now, so this year we'll probably incorporate it into the barn. Now next year going forward, we may try to look at events. You know, I've had people call me already, can you handle a wedding at this time? Well, we'll see, you know, and it just depends on how fast we work. It's not an overnight process.
All right, well, it's certainly a labor of love here. So a really cool barn, a really great restoration effort going on here. Kyle, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.